Friends, today I would like to give a brief overview of the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thank you.
So, let's get started.
Welcome.
It was truly a show. Both candidates approached the debates in their maximum combat readiness because the presidential seat is so close. And let's dive into this exciting political battle. Kamala immediately got down to business, saying that she is a middle-class girl and knows what it means to fight for her rights. Her plan is to support young parents by offering them a tax deduction of up to $6,000 and to help startups by providing them with $50,000 in tax breaks.
We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children.
She did not miss the opportunity to pounce on Trump, accusing him of allegedly only helping oligarchs, and that all this will lead to a huge national debt and rising prices.
We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children.
And Donald, as always in his style, clearly and confidently denies. There is no tax. It's all a lie. He snapped and moved on to his favorite topic, import tariffs, which, according to him, will force other countries, especially China, to fork out. And of course, he couldn't help but remind everyone that under his leadership, the U.S. economy was at its peak, and he was ready to lift the country up again.
I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to make people want to be able to go and work and create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. And just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences. Like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Immigration. Whose borders are stronger? Well, here Kamala played her trump card. She remembered her days when she fought gangs and smugglers. Her plan is to strengthen the borders, bring in more agents, and stop the flow of drugs. And of course, she didn't forget to accuse Trump of just talking about the problem, but doing nothing to solve it. Trump, as always, was ready. They opened the borders, and the country turned into a criminal yard, he said. According to him, his plan is the largest deportation in U.S. history. He is even ready to use the military to drive out all the illegals. I will take the country back, he added, with unwavering confidence. When it came to women's rights, a real fight began. She promised to return all rights to women and protect women from Trump's bans. According to Harris, Trump certainly should not tell a woman what to do with her body. She repeatedly repeats this phrase in all her public speeches.
And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted?
Of course, the slogan, "We are women, and let us do with our bodies whatever we want," is a strong and correct move in the election race, and not only in it. She said that Trump's abortion policy does not make exceptions for rape or incest. Trump, of course, did not stand aside. He said that he supports exceptions in cases of rape, incest, and threats to the life of the mother. I did what everyone wanted. I returned the abortion issue to the states, he said. What about foreign policy and the Ukrainian conflict? When the conversation turned to the international arena, there was something to see there too. Kamala told how she met with Zelensky before the war began and helped him get support from his allies. Trump, however, said that if he were president, there would be no war at all.
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more, because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said, either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 275 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left, I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if he's... Where is our president?
Trump, however, said that if he were president, there would be no war at all. I will end the war in 24 hours, he promised, saying that Putin and Zelensky respect him, but not Biden. With me, everything would be different, he said, with his usual confidence in his diplomatic skills. In the end, friends, this was not just a discussion of plans. This was a real fight. Kamala emphasized how she wants to help every American, support the middle class, women, and strengthen international alliances. Trump, however, remained true to himself. He talks about a tough economy, closing borders, and his plans for a quick victory on the international stage. In addition to the topics mentioned above, Harris spoke about the need to improve access to healthcare services. She supported the expansion of the Medicare program and defended the provisions of Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, stating that access to health care is a right, not a privilege. She also criticized Trump's attempts to repeal this program. Trump stated that his administration is working on creating a better health care system that would be cheaper and more efficient than Obamacare. He emphasized the importance of competition in the health care market and promised to protect people with pre-existing conditions, although his plans remained vague. Harris also spoke about the need to improve access to health care services. She supported the expansion of the Medicare program and defended the provisions of Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, stating that access to health care is a right, not a privilege. She also criticized Trump's attempts to repeal this program. Trump stated that his administration is working on creating a better healthcare system that would be cheaper and more efficient than Obamacare. He emphasized the importance of competition in the healthcare market, people with pre-existing conditions, although his plans remained vague. The choice in this election in America will be difficult. Well, friends, the show goes on, and we will soon find out who the United States of America will choose.